morning. Remembering and celebrating the extraordinary life of former First Lady Rosalynn Carter. Today marks the first of a three-day schedule of memorial events in her home state of Georgia. President Jimmy Carter's wife passed away last week at their home in Plains, Georgia, at the age of 96. And they were the longest married presidential couple, together for 77 years. This week, a series of events fit for a woman who redefined the role of First Lady and truly made a great impact in the White House through her humanitarianism and mental health advocacy. Let's bring in U.S. presidential historian and New York Times bestselling author Douglas Brinkley to share more details about Mrs. Carter's memorial services and also how the public and you at home can pay your respects. Good morning, Douglas.
Good morning to you.
Wow. I mean, what a force of a woman, a wife, a mother, first lady, an advocate. The list goes on and on. Mrs. Carter leaves behind a profound legacy. And really, in a sense, her final tour is intentional, right? What's the significance of the various stops and places?
Well, the main thing to realize about Rosalynn Carter and Jimmy Carter is their love of the state of Georgia. It's not just a matter of being born and rooted in Plains and living in Sumter County or being governor of Georgia. They just love the state. And Rosalynn Carter is going to be, laid to rest by a willow tree on the grounds in Plains on the Woodland Drive house where they've lived since 1960. This is their only home that they've ever known together. And then, of course, go to Georgia Southwestern State University, where so much of her work dealing with caretaking and mental illness has taken place, and also the Carter Center, which is a living memorial nonprofit doing great work all over the world in the name of Jimmy and Rosalynn Carter.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about her final resting place. There is something about a willow tree that's just peaceful, isn't it? She and President Carter had such a close bond, one of those storybook marriages, at least it seemed from the outside. It's hard to imagine one without the other. And the former president is now in his 10th month of hospice care. He was by his wife's side when she passed last weekend. They were inseparable. Do we have any idea yet whether or not he'll be able to attend her services?
Well, the answer is going to be yes. Whether he'll be able to get out and move about, I think, or be in the back of a vehicle, we'll have to see for some of the moments. Remember that the burial by the willow tree, I mean, this is the Carter property, and they were landowners. I mean, it's a beautiful piece of land. They knew every tree, every rock. They knew where every cardinal lived or where every, squirrel hunted for nuts. They were very intimate. The property where she's going to be buried. Only, I think, Franklin Roosevelt's devotion to Hyde Park, New York, along the Hudson kind of equals this deep attachment to place that the Carters had for their own property in Plains.
Yeah, well, she certainly accomplished so much in one lifetime, changed so many different lives and communities. This final tour is certainly fitting for her and all she achieved. Thank you, Douglas Brinkley. We do appreciate your time.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.